This display that you see before you is made possible by Geneva Allen Hurst, the granddaughter of Jeanie Muir. And let's welcome her to the stand and to the seat. And we'd love to let you know that we appreciate it so much for your being here, for giving us this wonderful opportunity to learn more of your grandmother. Thank you. Right this way. Give her a hand, please.
Oh, what a glorious opportunity to look into the faces of everybody that I have an affiliation to. This is a lifetime opportunity. I'm so thrilled to be here, to be a part of this. My grandmother came from Scotland when she was 20 years old, and she sailed the February 8th, 1881, to come to Canada to help the oldest brother, William, who had lost his wife and 2 children to diphtheria. And that was before the serum was perfected. And so, I guess I talk into this. And so, my grandparents, great-grandparents, prepared a blanket box. Now, I've never heard this phraseology with any other people, to acquire a blanket box to keep their precious possessions in. And one was crafted out of wood. With the likes of this. And I suppose that it was found in the soil, growing in the soil in Scotland. But now to go back to my story, I'll keep this because I'll make reference to this later. I said grandmother sailed the 8th of February, 1881 to Canada to help her brother. She was 20 years old, and this was required to be put in the box that she boarded the ship with. And I'll make reference to this later. When she arrived in Canada, she found another child had died, so that left 2. And she was there for 9 months before William wrote back to Canada, or to Scotland, and proposed to a sweetheart, and she accepted. So when she arrived, Grandma then went to Odell, Illinois, to visit her oldest brother, James. And it was there that she met John Hood Allen, and so that gets her there. Back to the blanket box. There are those that's made reference to me having the trunk. Well, it's not a trunk. It's a crudely constructed wood as this, and it's painted sort of a browny red. And my father had the box and was going to trash it because the top was all broken. The lock that was on it was gouged out, and the only thing together actually well were the iron can handles that were crafted that went on either end in order to move it. I didn't take a measurement of it, but it almost looked like a box that you would put a casket in, just about that long. And when my father was going to trash it, I said I want it. So I took it to Augusta, and I placed it in the garage and used it for storage. And then when I had a garage sale prior to going to Cottonwood Point, an antique dealer bought it for $15, and she has it displayed in her antique shop. The things that were brought over in the blanket box after viewing Scotland, I thought that it was a very forlorn-looking country. I never saw the sun the 2 times we've been there. We went first in 1977, and the last time in 83, which was our 50th wedding anniversary year. And Alan and Susie sent us to Europe for 6 weeks. And we went, the first visit in 77, all we had when we left to go was this. Grandmother never talked to me specifically about Scotland or any of the happenings over there. And so I was not apprised of any specific. But can you imagine only this when we went in 77? The first thing we did was to go to the city building, and we said, we are over here to try and discover information on Alexander and Jane Muir. And I said, could you tell me what to do? And he said, well, first I asked, knowing my grandmother went to dressmaking school there, I said, where could I go to see the dressmaking school? He laughed and said, well, you know, it's like in the United States. Farm Bureau has taken over, so we have no dressmaking school. Well, then I said, where will I find where they lived? Well, he said, what was the name of the farm? I said, I don't know. It isn't on here. Well, he said, you'll have to find that out. So I go by this, then we rent a car and air, and we start down the road and go to Mauchline. And so we go to the city building there and ask information. They said, you go to the church. They kept all the records at the church. We go to the church, and they said, no, we don't keep them here anymore. You'll find those at Catron. So, but this time it was about 11:30 to 12. And so we go to Catron, and there was and this person said also that a lady kept the records at this particular place that they directed us to. So we start out, and it was about 3 miles from Ayr. And we got there and found that she had closed her shop for the day at 12:30. And so then we go across the street and ask if they could direct us to where the lady might be. And they said, well, she's manager of the knitting mills in the afternoon. So they directed us there.